Well, let's start with the quarterbacks then. And Matthew Stafford makes the love list as the Rams. They re-signed DeMarcus Robinson. They bring back their guard, Kevin Dotson. They spent a lot more money on another guard in Jonah Jackson. And Colby Parkinson joins the fray at tight end.
Yeah, I mean, like this was quietly a very good offense last year. Stafford played at an MVP level for much of the year. And so now you've improved his offensive line. You bring back Robinson. He's already got Kupp and obviously Puka Nacua there as well. They upgrade. Kyron Williams is back as well. And you upgrade the tight end room as well. So over his final 7 games last year, this is a guy who was the 9th best quarterback in fantasy, right? Top 3 in terms of both touchdowns and passing yards per game over that stretch. And so I think a fully healthy Stafford behind a better offensive line. And by the way, while he was doing that, while he was that top 9 quarterback on a points per game basis over the final 7 games, that was also when DeMarcus Robinson sort of emerged. So again, DeMarcus Robinson, not the biggest name, but I think an important piece for that Rams Sean McVay offense.
I think the other thing too is that Kupp missed the first month of the season and then was banged up throughout the year. Kyron Williams wasn't, like, Cam Akers was the starting running back on that team, got like 22 carries in week 1. Kyron Williams also missed time. I think he went on IR, missed 4 weeks during it. So you would just project normally more health for the skill position players, and Stafford will have more continuity with all of them.
The infamous Cam Akers 22 carries, 29 yards game.
Yes.
A fantasy legend. Another quarterback that makes the love list here. How about Will Levis? The Titans have been busy. They signed Calvin Ridley. They get a new center in Lloyd Cushenberry. They add Sadiq Charles at guard. They bring back Nick Westbrook-Akina. They have the 7th overall pick in the draft, which is almost certain to be a left tackle. And Brian Callahan brings his dad, Bill Callahan, one of the best offensive line coaches in the NFL, over with him as that hire.
For sure. I mean, it's not the level of what Chicago's doing with Caleb Williams, but the Titans, give them credit. They're doing everything they can to make Will Levis, to give Will Levis a shot at success. Look, I'm a big Will Levis fan. He's a Connecticut kid. He grew up here. He played high school ball, literally like against one of my school's rivals as well. Like, just a great guy. I've interviewed him a couple of different times during his rookie year. Awesome kid. So I root for Will Levis on a personal level. But I do think that adding Calvin Ridley to DeAndre Hopkins and Treylon Burks, Chigakonkwo, all of a sudden now you have some weapons. It was the worst offensive line in football last year. It really was. So to your point about adding Cushenberry, they're most likely, whether it's Joe Alt
Feels
or
like
somebody,
Joe Alt's already a Titan.
Right. I mean, you might as well be picking out houses in Nashville right now. I mean,
He's
like
plus 100 to go to the Titans, which seems generous. Yeah, I feel like I'd take that over the field.
I would like that.
I'll say this, why? Because he is so good that the door is open for somebody to trade in front of them to take him.
Wow.
He is viewed as a top 5 player in the draft.
Like Penei Sewell type, like that kind of level.
That's
like
exact
he's like that
level
kind of anchor,
I would put him next
that
to.
level. Trent
That's
Williams,
why it's
like
not
he could be
money.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Well, whether it's Alt or somebody like him, like because they're going to
good tackle class.
It's a very good tackle class, and they're going to draft one of those in the first round. So they're improving their offensive line, adding Pollard to Tajay Spears. So now suddenly that backfield is also has some nice pass catchers as well. So Will Levis's fantasy stock has improved by the weapons they're adding around him, both on the line and in the receiving room.
Yep. Interesting dynamic having your father as the offensive line coach. What happens if they start giving up a lot of sacks? Does Callahan bring the old man
Chris,
into the
dad?
room?
Well, you know what? And listen, I went to Brian
Can you fire your dad?
Yeah. I went to Brian Callahan's press conference at the Combine, and he was obviously asked about that. And he was, he just said, like, it's awesome. It's, it's basically all the stuff that I've done growing up, talking football at the kitchen table with my dad. Now we get to do, for the Titans, and he was very complimentary of the Cleveland Browns,
but I'm the boss.
The Browns had Bill Callahan under contract and didn't have to let him out, but the Browns, recognizing what a special situation it was for a father-son to coach together in the NFL, they basically said go with God and figure that out. And so I think the other thing that was so funny is that they asked Brian Callahan about, like, oh, you'll be able to discipline your dad, and he's just like, yeah, I don't think you don't tell my dad anything. Like, I think it doesn't matter. Like, I think Brian Callahan's going to be like, he's still dad. Like, just let me know we got the protection's okay. Like, I think Bill's just going to tell him, here's what we're doing.
Yeah,
and
Bill has
Brian's
the
gonna
keys
go,
to
like,
the car,
great,
for sure.
Exactly. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotorWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.